On CP24 tonight, the province's COVID-19 science advisory table calls for a stricter public health measure to blunt the growing Omicron wave. Ontario reports more than 2,400 new COVID-19 cases today, the highest daily case count in 7 months. And Canada's tallest structure closes to visitors after reports of falling debris at the CN Tower. Ontario's COVID-19 science table says people in the province need to cut their personal contacts by half to blunt the impact of the Omicron variant. The panel of expert advisors says Ontario needs a circuit breaker that includes new public health measures to reduce personal contacts. This is in response to the highly contagious Omicron variant. It says that without further measures, we could see more than 10,000 new cases a day by Christmas. The science table says ramping up booster shots will not be enough to rein in Omicron.
We don't believe there is strong evidence of that for a number of reasons that we discussed earlier. But you can see here that even if Omicron is less severe, if it's 25% less severe than Delta, you will still see ICU occupancy rise. With no additional measures, again, our models tend to suggest that by the end of the month, we could still be over 500 patients in the intensive care unit. And even with a circuit breaker, we still do get up to just about 300 again.
And the science table is also urging Ontario residents to ensure they're using high-quality masks to prevent the spread of Omicron. Ontario is reporting 2,421 new COVID-19 cases today, the highest daily tally since May 15th. That compares to 1,808 cases yesterday. The 7-day rolling average is approaching 1,700, up 59% in the last week. 9 more deaths linked to the virus are reported today. We're seeing a significant jump in the positivity rate, which is now at 7%. After more than 54,700 tests were completed, 328 people are hospitalized with COVID-19. 256 of them are not fully vaccinated or have an unknown vaccine status. There are 166 COVID-19 patients in ICU after 22 new admissions in the last day. It was another busy day at the Crossroads Plaza walk-in vaccine clinic, and it may stay that way through the weekend. This is the second straight day we're seeing long lines of people eligible for their third vaccine dose. That includes anyone 50 and older who got their second shot at least 6 months ago. But with yesterday's announcement, that eligibility will be open to those 18 and older as of Monday. The province is urging the 50-plus crowd to get their boosters before those lines get even longer.
It's a long line up, but everybody look very happy for the long line up, but we all do our part to get the vaccination.
I think it's going quite well here. Everybody's cooperating, and I'm here for my third dose.
I feel good about it. I think it's important to keep safe. That's the only reason I'm here. I want to keep safe, and I want everyone else to keep safe.
And Mayor John Tory says the city is looking at all options to ramp up vaccines.
I think those things make sense. I think the increase in capacity for vaccinations makes sense, and we will ramp that up as quickly as we possibly can, given that the province has changed the eligibility and changed some of the timing on that. And we're just going to, not rule out any option in increasing our own capacity to deliver vaccinations. We've already made a substantial increase in capacity. So all of it, I think, makes sense in light of learnings that we're having every single day about this variant and about how fast it spreads and about the threat that it poses really to the healthcare system, among other things.
And MLSE is prioritizing season ticket holders as it scales back crowds to meet new capacity limits. Scotiabank Arena can only be 50% full starting on Saturday. As the government tries to stem the tide of COVID-19 cases, all other ticket holders will be refunded for games over the next month. MLSE says season seat holders for both teams will be divided into 2 groups to ensure equitable access to games.
Going section by section, and essentially it's every other member will get their seats for every other game.
And the Montreal Canadiens host the Philadelphia Flyers tonight with no fans at Bell Centre. The team is making the move after a request from Quebec Public Health. The Canadiens say fans with tickets will be contacted directly by the ticket office, and the team will provide a status update tomorrow about Saturday's game against Boston. The capacity limits are also affecting theaters. The National Ballet of Canada scrambling to contact those with tickets for sold-out performances of The Nutcracker.
There's no advance warning from the government that this was coming down. We have 4 shows this weekend, and within 48 hours, we have to reach thousands of customers. Once we get a sense of how many would like to keep their tickets, we will then go, we'll have to go, unfortunately, last in, first out.
Mervish Productions is hoping enough people come out to keep shows going, noting there will be significant financial implications. A wind warning that was posted for the GTA has ended, but gusty winds are still expected tonight. Environment Canada had warned that winds could gust to 90 kilometers an hour, and a gust of 78 kilometers an hour was recorded earlier today at Pearson Airport. The winds are expected to gradually decrease tonight. The high winds today are blamed for blowing over a tractor trailer in the West End. The OPP sharing this video of the rig after it was back on its wheels. They say the empty trailer was on the westbound 407 near the 401 when it was knocked over by a gust of wind. The driver was not injured. The CN Tower is closed after a large chunk of glass covering one of the elevator shafts fell from the tower. Workers were carefully removing the remaining glass after it broke today. It's not known if the high winds are to blame. The CN Tower tweeted earlier that it was closed along with the surrounding area as a precaution. No injuries were reported. After removing the broken glass in the tower's elevator shaft, crews boarded up the window with plywood late today. Fire officials say it's very fortunate there were no serious injuries in an explosion at a daycare center on Kingston Road near Morningside. There were at least a dozen children inside when an explosion occurred just after 2 p.m. Fire officials say the children were in an adjacent building doing some other activities at the time, and they were not hurt. 2 or 3 adults suffered minor injuries.
We are working with Toronto Police